What the hell are you doing?
Why should you buy from Fitment
What are
Industries?
you talking about? Why do you keep throwing water at me?
Why should you buy from Fitment Industries?
Because we have wheels, tires, and suspension, and incredibly low rates. 0% financing guarantee, quick delivery days.
That's right!
But if I'm right, why do you keep throwing water at me?
I had 3 buckets.
Well, unless you've been living under a friggin' rock, you've probably noticed that automakers are reviving a ton of big names from the past. You know, maybe the Mark V Supra, the new Nissan Z, the Civic Type R, Hummer, Bronco, Lamborghini Countach, the Jeep friggin' Grand Wagoneers, the NSX, and then, wow, the NSX is actually on its way out, the Type S version of the NSX, followed by the revival of the Integra nameplate. It's like we're reliving some of the best automotive moments in all of history all at once. In fact, I think right now, is as good as it's ever gonna get. I mean, hell, you can just go buy a 700 horsepower Hellcat for 40 grand. Mustang has a 750 horsepower Shelby version. We have a twin turbo Z coming. Corvette made the front engine platform so fast that it had to move to a mid-engine layout. Electric cars are pushing 4 digits of power with 0 to 60 times in the sub 2-second range. And don't even get me started on how cool it is that all it takes is money and you can just go buy a 3-ton Bentley Bentayga hybrid that gets 46 mpg combined. I genuinely do not know how you could improve on this, even if gasoline engines weren't doomed. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is Acura teased us with the new Integra, and I think it might be. But before we take a look at some of the renders floating around and some of the official teasers, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also hit that bell to stay notified with all the cool we're doing around here, like giving away a whole ass set of Artista wheels. All you gotta do is head over to the website and grab some of this sick merch right here, and every $5 that you spend gets you entered to win, and a portion of the proceeds are going to the American Cancer Society. You can also make a separate donation of any amount that you want, and you're gonna get featured on the website as well, which is pretty dang cool. So without further ado, I suppose let's talk about what we do know. According to Acura, Integra will not replace the ILX, which is based on the 9th generation Civic platform. Integra will be a new entry under the ILX, apparently, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because it's also based on the Civic. Like, how can you have 2 entry and they're both based on a Civic? I assume that the Integra is going to be based on the 11th gen Civic because the ILX is based on the 9th gen Civic. It still uses an NAK 24 with 200 horsepower, which, like, it sounds cool in your head. I'm like, oh, if the new Integra had a 200 horsepower K24, that'd be sick, but it's not. It'd be slow. All right, I'm sorry. But either way, the Integra is not a direct replacement for the ILX, and I think the ILX is going to live on for a little bit, but eventually I think they're going to kill it off, and the Integra is going to take that spot without, you know, replacing it. Acura also said that with the NSX going away, that Integra is going to be their performance halo car, which is also kind of weird and pretty untraditional to have your entry-level model be kind of your racy model. It'd be like friggin' Ford, like when the Focus ST came out, being like, yep, it's the best we got. Not doing a Mustang GT, not doing a Shelby, not doing a Raptor, not doing a Ford GT. Focus ST, pinnacle performance. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Supposedly there's going to be a hybrid version. Some of the guys in some of the interviews that are higher up were saying that there's going to be a hybrid version eventually. Not right away, but eventually. And the last thing we all know is that we definitely want it to be just remake the DC2 Integra Type R, all right? Just literally restamp it, put the same old stupid engine in it. It's not stupid, it revved really high, it was cool, but it's slow by today's standard, all right? Anyway, just take that and just make it again. And I'll probably go buy it for 40 grand. Honestly. It would not be a bad business feature, especially with electric vehicles coming in. Why wouldn't you just like take something old and dumb and just boop, 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 do the emission? I don't know. Anyway, now that we're on the same page, let's go ahead and watch the only official 8-second trailer that Acura has ever given us of information about the Integra. If I can hit play. How dramatic. Oh, engine sounds. All right. I mean, you got the check mark. They kind of already do that with some of their newer models, especially the Type S stuff. I'm seeing like little LED projectors. That's pretty cool. That's pretty modern. Grille styling, pretty accurate to the current Type S as well. Body shape looks pretty aggressive, but I think what I noticed most is that the engine sounded naturally aspirated. I didn't hear anything turbo. And I bring that up because I remember when the Supra was coming out, and Toyota Europe posted a video on December 19th, 2018. I'll just show it to you. Listen to it anyway. Like, it's pretty clear that it's turbocharged. You know what I mean? And other manufacturers do that too if it's supercharged. I mean, the things freaking whine like crazy, like a Hellcat or something. So I am kind of thinking they are gonna bring back a naturally aspirated one, but I don't know as if it's gonna be good. You put that NAK24 in it that they use. I think they still use it in the CRV. They still use it in the ILX. I think there's another one. Even then, it's only been a couple years since the other decent naturally aspirated engines. Anyway, it's probably likely they'll put it in something. It's gonna be kind of slow. It's probably gonna be 200 horsepower, which kind of sucks, but we would get that naturally aspirated sport coupe, maybe coupe that we always wanted. I would personally like to see, as bad as they sound, that 1.5 liter turbo from the SI. I think that'd be sick. It'd make it a pretty quick car and easily modifiable as long as they fix that clutch issue. But if they boost it or they come out with some new engine or some new turbo engine, it's going to be kind of expensive, and that would suck. That would kind of pull away from the Integra thing. You know, if I can't go buy an Integra, you know, for 25 grand when it's new, I don't know if they're going back to the roots like they say they're gonna. Transmission. Honda has been known to have a standard transmission for pretty much everything on the low end, which is where the Integra is going to start. So I'm not going to be surprised if they have a manual transmission, at least for an option anyway. I think with the new stuff coming out, and as soon as you get into like the Type S, they might take some of this stuff and develop a really good DCT that would go in the small car that would kind of rival maybe the Type R. I'm just saying, it would be kind of cool if the Veloster did it. I'm sure Honda will. One of the other big ones, how many doors is it gonna have? According to the public planning graphic that's been going around for a little while, you can actually see a timeline of what they plan to release, even if they don't name it. They do say that there's a new sedan coming in Type S trim, and it's gonna be here in 2022, 2023, and they mention nothing about a coupe or a two-door or anything like that. So that kind of sucks. And also considering most manufacturers are getting rid of cars altogether outside of their flagship stuff. But Ford, no more cars, only the Mustang. That is it. That is it. And with that happening, I find it very likely that they're gonna need at least a sedan version. If not, they're just gonna only make sedans, because that's gonna probably sell better realistically, because people like you and I like fun stuff. We don't buy new vehicles a whole hell of a lot, especially if it's based on that Civic platform, which Civic has dropped the two-door option. So maybe they'll do something with the chassis to shorten it. I don't even know if the four-door is longer. I have no idea, to be honest with you, but I think there's a good chance that it might be sedan only. But if they don't do that and they stick to their roots and they make a two-door car, I think they have something really good on their hands here, especially with canceling the two-door Civic. That'll drive all those two-door customers, I think, over to Integra, which is probably where they're going to want to be anyway. Plus, you're kind of going to spearhead that market. We don't have a two-door GTI anymore. This is kind of going to be your only front-wheel drive, fun, cheap thing, two-door-y, if it's a two-door. But I did see, like 6 months ago, before they even released information about the Integra, there were some spy shots floating around the Civic forum, because I'm on Civic forums, and they showed this car in camouflage being tested on the street. It's got kind of directional wheels, which is kind of an ode to Honda. That's what makes me think this is some sort of Honda branded vehicle. It's small, it's kind of like a CRZ, and the design does kind of look a lot like the renderings that you're going to see online. Like this came out a little while ago, and like I'm pretty damn sure that's exactly what that car looks like under that camouflage, or maybe something like this. You know, obviously the headlights are going to need a little bit of tweaking and stuff like that. It's not going to be perfect, but it follows the body lines, the taillights. It's like a good concept, I feel like, right? Like, if you disagree with me, I'd be very confused, but that's what it looks like. It looks CRZ sized, which is good. You know, if they can give us 250 horsepower and a quick car, it looks very light. And I kind of like the hips on the back. You know, it's got like that like arching, like muscle car-y look that I think gives vehicles a lot of character. Will there be a Type R? No. Type R is for Honda. They've made that pretty clear, and Acura is going to be moving to Type S. I do not think that we will get any sort of Type R. They're going to market that all as the Type S, and I would imagine the S would have a lot of the Type R bits, but I don't think we're going to get a 300 horsepower turbocharged not hybrid competitor for that Type R. But I think they could pull it off, you know, if they do it right. Just like the Civic with the Type R. The Civic Type R sold so many base model Civics and Civic SIs, it's unfathomable. So I could really see them taking and making a Halo Type S kind of crazy so that they can sell more of these other cars. And I think they could do that if they bring that hybrid in with like a trick all-wheel drive system. Maybe you get that 1.5 liter SI engine and then you get an additional 60 horsepower on two 30 horsepower electric motors in the back, have some of that torque vectoring independently. That would make a fast car. I mean, that'd probably get that thing up to like 300 horsepower. You bump the engine up a little bit and then you put the electric motors on it and now you have a race car monster that's extremely efficient. And if they make an affordable, slightly upscale sport economy car that's as quick as the GTI with similar interior for less money, they're gonna have a banger on their hands, all right? But I'm not so confident they're gonna do it. They promised us a sports car revamp back when the CR-Z came out as a hybrid, and they said it was gonna be cool and fun and back to its roots, and it wasn't. It sucked. It was really slow, it was kind of boring, and it didn't date very well. There are a lot of factors here, a lot of which I don't actually know about, but what I think isn't important. I wanna know what you guys think. What engine do you think it's gonna have? How much do you think it's gonna be? How much power is it gonna have? And do you plan on buying one either way? Don't forget to check out the giveaway. We're giving away a full set of Artisan wheels. All you gotta do is go get some sick merch online. $5 equals an entry into win. You're helping out a great cause. It's really awesome stuff. I'm Sean, SeanB.fi on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you later. Peace.